Across fields stretching to the horizon, intelligent machines now harvest more than 9 billion tons of produce each year, feeding the planet with precision down to every second. Yet somewhere, among mist-covered fields, human hands still do what machines cannot, nurturing life with emotion and experience. This is the portrait of 21st century agriculture, where technology and humanity no longer stand opposed, but work in harmony to write the great story of Earth's survival. In the past, farmers had to carry baskets, bend their backs to lift each melon weighing over 2 kilograms, and haul them across long rows under the blazing sun. A grueling task that drained their strength and often left the fruit scratched before it even reached the truck. Today, they have the help of mobile harvesting conveyors, a smart mechanical arm designed specifically for melons. The belts are made of soft rubber, allowing workers to gently toss the fruit onto them without damaging the rind. One end of the conveyor lies close to the ground to receive the melons, while the other end rises to deliver them directly into the truck bed. 2 conveyors operate side by side, moving slowly between the rows. Around 20 workers coordinate seamlessly along the system, forming an open-air assembly line. Pickers, placers, and loaders working in perfect rhythm. The conveyor doesn't replace human hands, but it reduces over 70% of the heavy lifting, cuts harvest time in half, and ensures every melon remains intact and gleaming under the golden sun of the season. Every year, from June to early August, the peach orchards of California and South Carolina, the 2 largest peach-producing regions in the United States, enter their most vibrant season of the year. When the trees are covered in shades of pink and orange, hundreds of workers spread out across the orchards, carrying soft fabric baskets to pick each fruit by hand. Each peach weighs about 150 to 200 grams and bruises easily, so the entire harvest must be done manually. Pickers gently twist the stem between their thumb and forefinger, checking the fruit's ripeness by its color and fragrance before carefully placing it into the basket. Once harvested, the peaches are taken to cooling stations within less than 4 hours to preserve their crisp texture and signature aroma. In California alone, more than 250,000 tons of fresh peaches are harvested every year, most for domestic consumption, an enduring symbol of the American summer, where the sweet scent of peaches evokes the warmth of long, golden days. The John Deere combine harvesters are considered the backbone of American mechanized agriculture. Powerful, multi-purpose machines capable of harvesting everything from wheat, corn, and soybeans to sorghum, simply by changing the front header attachment. When the sorghum fields of America's Midwest turn a deep crimson red, these giant combines begin to roll. At the front, a 10-meter wide cutting header glides just above the ground, feeding the entire stalk into the processing chamber, where high-speed rotors and strong airflows separate the grain from the stalk before lifting it into the grain tank above. This front section, known as the header, is built as a modular unit that can be swapped depending on the crop. For corn, the header uses deep row grabbers designed to pull and cut tough stalks. For sorghum or wheat, it's replaced with a draper header, a flat cutting platform with a moving belt that smoothly feeds each stalk into the threshing system with precision. Sorghum may not be a common sight on the dinner table, but it's one of the most resilient and vital crops on Earth. Grown widely across Kansas, Texas, and Oklahoma, it thrives in dry, scorching lands where few other plants can survive. In your kitchen, spring onions are a familiar ingredient. But have you ever wondered how they're harvested across fields that stretch for dozens of hectares? Let's visit Denmark, the birthplace of Asa Lift, the pioneer of Europe's vegetable harvesting technology. At the front, A thin steel blade slices just below the roots, while rubber rollers gently grip the stalks and lift them from the soil. Next, an angled conveyor belt carries the onions upward, where soft rotating brushes remove dirt before neatly stacking them into crates. In just 5 minutes, a single machine can harvest over 600 meters of onion rows, up to 20 times faster than manual labor, while keeping every stalk straight, clean, and perfectly intact, ready for its journey to your local supermarket. During the bright summer months in Florida and Mexico, mango orchards reach their harvest peak when millions of golden fruits ripen at once, filling the air with their fragrance. Hand-picking remains the preferred and almost indispensable method, since each mango variety ripens differently and has a unique skin texture. Pickers must observe the color, feel the firmness, and check the stem to determine the perfect time to harvest. Low-hanging fruits are picked directly, while those high above are reached using hydraulic lifting baskets, compact in appearance but capable of extending up to 8 to 10 meters high. The platform is controlled by a small panel on the handrail, allowing pickers to raise, lower, or rotate the lift with just a few simple moves. This system boosts productivity up to 5 times compared to ladders, ensures worker safety, and protects branches from damage. After harvesting, mangoes are rinsed under gentle water jets or immersed in circulating wash tanks to remove sap and dust, then dried, sorted, and cold-packed for export. Every year, Mexico, the largest mango exporter in the Americas, supplies over 2 million tons of fresh mangoes to global markets, most of them still picked carefully by hand from orchards like these. The tree shaker is the secret weapon of America's plum orchards. Its steel arm clamps tightly around the trunk, then shakes it powerfully for a few seconds, at a frequency of up to 400 vibrations per second, causing thousands of ripe plums to rain down onto large catching tarps without damaging branches or unripe fruit. In just a few short seconds, a tree is completely harvested. From the tarps, the plums are moved directly onto conveyor belts, passing through cleaning, sorting, and packing stations right in the field. Each shaker can harvest up to 60 tons of plums per day, operating tirelessly under the summer sun. Alongside the trunk-shaking tree shakers, American farmers also use another type of machine designed for low, narrow canopy plum orchards: the canopy shaker. Its 2 symmetrical rotor arms vibrate at a frequency of 6 to 10 Hz, sending oscillations directly through the canopy to shake off ripe fruit without breaking branches. Beneath the trees, a closed system of catching tarps and conveyors collects the falling plums, separates leaves and debris, and transfers the clean fruit straight into storage bins. Leaving behind America and Europe, we arrive in South Korea, where the lowering of pond temperatures below 10 degrees Celsius marks the beginning of the lotus root harvest season. Harvesters wear full-body waterproof suits, thick rubber gloves, and use broad, blunt-tipped knives, tools that allow them to cut and separate rhizomes without cracking their delicate skin. Hidden beneath a thick layer of mud, each lotus stem contains 3 to 6 connected root segments, crisp, starchy, yet so fragile that even a slight touch can cause them to split. Instead of digging with shovels, farmers use high-pressure water jets to loosen the soil and gently release the roots without any mechanical impact. Once freed, the roots float to the surface, where workers gather them into wooden boats, then lift them ashore with small cranes. The process must be quick. Within just 2 to 3 hours of air exposure, the roots begin to oxidize and turn brown. Thanks to this delicate and precise technique, South Korea exports over $100 million USD worth of lotus roots each year, turning a plant born from the mud into a high-value agricultural product on the global market. When aloe vera leaves reach full maturity, about 8 to 12 months old and nearly 80 centimeters long, farmers begin harvesting. Using sharp knives, they cut each leaf close to the base, then tilt the cut end downward to drain the yellow sap containing aloe, a bitter compound that can ruin an entire batch of gel if not removed properly. Harvesting aloe requires speed and precision, as even a small bend or bruise can cause the inner gel to oxidize. Only thick, plump, unbroken leaves are considered suitable, and they are carefully placed into shallow trays or soft-lined crates to protect their delicate outer skin. On large farms, mobile harvesting conveyors run along the rows, collecting hundreds of leaves in just a few minutes, reducing manual labor by up to 70% while keeping the gel inside fresh and intact. Typically, a skilled worker can cut up to 1,000 leaves per day, but ensuring that each leaf remains firm, clean, and free of yellow sap still depends entirely on the harvester's experience. The key to the purity of every drop of aloe gel that follows. The grapefruit harvest begins when the fruit turns a uniform shade of pinkish gold, with taut, slightly textured skin. During peak season in Texas, the homeland of the famous Rio Red variety, skilled pickers gently twist each fruit along the stem, creating just enough torque for it to detach naturally without tearing the peel. But under the dry, scorching sun of the semi-desert region, time is the greatest enemy of quality. Just a few hours delay after full ripeness can cause the skin to dull, essential oils to evaporate, and the flesh to begin drying out. That's why the entire harvest must be fast, continuous, and precise, ensuring that every grapefruit, the moment it leaves the branch, still retains its glossy, aromatic skin and the signature sweet tart flavor that has made Rio Red a beloved name across the United States. In the summer months, when rows of zucchini fields in France reach peak production, hundreds of workers head out for the biggest harvest of the year. Despite advances in mechanization, zucchini are still picked almost entirely by hand, as their thin skin and soft stems make them extremely prone to scratches and bruising. In the fields, pickers move along each row, holding the fruit with one hand and using a small knife to cut the stem cleanly with the other, making quick, precise movements to avoid tearing the glossy green skin. Each worker carries a shallow plastic crate, which, once full, is emptied onto collection trucks, moving slowly alongside the rows. To preserve freshness, harvesting takes place every 2 to 3 days, when the fruits reach about 18 to 20 centimeters in length, the golden stage for flavor and yield. On average, a skilled picker can harvest 400 to 600 kilograms per day, all done in the early morning hours when the air is cool and the fruits are still firm, vibrant, and full of life. Next, let's visit the shaded cocoa plantations of southern Ghana, the birthplace of the chocolate bars you know so well. The harvest season begins with the rhythmic sound of machetes striking through the forest, a sound locals affectionately call go-to, the signal that the golden season has arrived. When the cocoa pods turn deep red or golden yellow, pickers use curved machetes to cut them from the stem and gather them into small piles beneath the trees. There, they split open the pods and remove the ivory-colored beans, wrapped in a sweet mucilaginous pulp. This pulp is what undergoes natural fermentation for 5 to 7 days, during which enzymes break down sugars and acids, releasing hundreds of precursor aroma compounds. Surprisingly, 60 to 70% of chocolate's final flavor is formed at this stage, long before the beans are roasted. Yet, despite the meticulous labor of millions of farmers, cocoa growers earn less than 2% of the final value of the global chocolate industry, while most profits, go to processing giants in Europe and North America, where these humble beans are turned into the sweet indulgence that many of their growers have never even tasted. The sweet potato harvest season in the United States usually begins in September and lasts until November. In North Carolina, the state that produces the most sweet potatoes in the country, massive Lockwood sweet potato harvesters operate continuously across thousands of hectares. Beneath a nearly 6-meter-long steel frame, a system of spade-shaped digging blades penetrates 35 to 40 centimeters into the soil, gently lifting entire rows of sweet potatoes instead of churning them up. This approach minimizes mechanical impact, preserving the smooth skin and natural shape of each tuber. Next, a rubber conveyor chain system runs in sequence, catching the soil and potato mix, shaking off excess mud, and transferring the clean potatoes onto the upper belt. Within seconds, the soil is sifted away, and the potatoes are pre-sorted before being loaded directly into the storage bins at the rear. A single Lockwood harvester can cover 10 to 12 hectares per day, performing the work of more than 150 laborers, while maintaining over 90% of the potatoes intact. A testament to the precision and efficiency of modern American agricultural machinery. Kale, one of the winter season's true superfoods, is harvested in two completely different ways. On small farms, workers use both hands to strip the leaves downward from the top of the stem, carefully selecting the fresh, curly green ones while leaving behind the tough, older leaves. The harvested leaves are gathered into crates mounted on slow-moving tractors. This gentle manual method keeps the surface of the leaves intact, minimizing bruising and moisture loss, a crucial factor when the kale is graded under the U.S. #1 standard, which requires the leaves to be well-trimmed, unwilted, free from yellowing, and undamaged before being shipped to supermarkets or processed as fresh leaf kale. The second method is mechanized kale harvesting, where humans serve only as operators. Machines like the Ploger MKB4TR use high-speed rotating cutter bars that skim the soil surface, stripping all kale leaves in a single pass. Immediately after, dual intake rollers draw the leaves into a cutting chamber, where spinning blades chop them into uniform pieces before a 5-meter inclined conveyor lifts and blows the chopped kale into a trailer running alongside. Both vehicles are GPS synchronized, their speed, direction, and feed rhythm matched to the second for continuous, loss-free operation. Unlike hand-picked whole-leaf kale destined for supermarket shelves, mechanically harvested kale is intended for industrial processing. After collection, the leaves are washed, blanched, and individually quick-frozen (IQF) to become chopped frozen kale, a key ingredient in soups, smoothies, pizza toppings, and ready-to-eat frozen meals exported across Europe. Goodbye to cold Europe. We now head toward the blazing equatorial sun, to the endless pineapple fields of Costa Rica, where the fruit thrives all year round. Under the scorching tropical heat, hundreds of farmers bend between the sharp-leafed rows, carrying keranjang, traditional wicker baskets that can weigh up to 50 kilograms each. Every step is a challenge, as the pineapple leaves are razor-sharp and can slice through skin with just a moment's distraction. Even in this age of automation, pineapples must still be harvested by hand, slow, laborious, yet meticulous. And it is precisely that human care that keeps each fruit perfectly shaped, golden, and fragrant by the time it reaches consumers around the world. If there is one true innovation in pineapple harvesting, it would be these moving conveyor belts stretching across the fields. A large truck moves in sync with a steel frame nearly 30 meters long, fitted with continuously running rubber belts. Farmers simply twist the pineapples off the stalks and place them directly onto the belt gliding past. instead of carrying heavy sacks on their shoulders like before. Each pineapple is then transported straight into the truck's collection bins, minimizing bruising and damage. The system can handle 200 to 300 fruits per minute, saving labor, boosting efficiency, and preserving the flawless appearance essential for export-quality pineapples. Though still partly manual, this is considered the most advanced form of pineapple harvesting today, where human precision and mechanical rhythm work together to form a living assembly line across the tropical fields. The walnut harvest begins when the outer green husk naturally splits open, revealing nuts that have reached perfect dryness. In California, which produces over 99% of America's walnuts, hundreds of tree shakers roar to life across vast orchards. Each hydraulic arm grips the trunk tightly and delivers up to 3,000 pounds of shaking force, enough to drop nearly all the nuts in under 10 seconds. The orchard fills with a steady rattle, like a rainstorm of falling shells. Moments later, sweepers and harvesters move in, clearing dry leaves and lining the fallen nuts into neat rows. The golden brown walnuts are then vacuumed onto conveyors and sent straight to drying facilities, preserving their rich flavor and crisp texture. In just a few minutes, a tree heavy with fruit is completely released, a striking display of precision, power, and efficiency in modern mechanized agriculture. Along the shores of Lake Michigan, as a thin layer of morning mist still blankets the fields, hundreds of farmers set their low harvesting carts in motion, rolling slowly between perfectly straight rows of green asparagus. Moving at barely 0.5 kilometers per hour, the carts allow workers to carefully cut each spear as it emerges from the soil. Unlike white asparagus in Europe, which grows hidden beneath sand, Michigan's asparagus rises proudly under the sun, harvested when the stems reach 18 to 22 centimeters, the ideal length for a tender, crisp, and sweet texture. Each spear, once cut, is gently placed into plastic trays at the back of the cart and transported directly to processing facilities within 4 hours, before it loses its freshness and natural sugars. Today, Gerbera daisies are harvested by the Octinian Rubion robot, an automated picking arm often described as the most delicate worker in the greenhouse. Its slender mechanical arms, equipped with vision sensors and 3D cameras, scan along each row to identify flowers that have reached the perfect bloom, typically 70 to 80% open petals. The robot then lowers its soft silicone gripper, gently twists, and pulls the entire stem from the base without bending or bruising it. Operating at a pace of 1 flower per second, it works up to 5 times faster than a human picker. Each flower is neatly placed into transport trays and sent straight to an automated packaging station, where precision scanners measure length, diameter, and color to ensure every Gerbera meets export standards. Thanks to this technology, every bloom that leaves the greenhouse remains flawless and vibrant, ready to supply the United States' massive $2 billion a year festival and floral market. In the mountainous farms of Oregon, where steep terrain, muddy slopes, and transport distances spanning dozens of kilometers make trucks nearly useless, light transport helicopters have become the true heroes of the Christmas tree harvest. Using a technique known as vertical reference flying, pilots look straight down through a floor window, maneuvering with centimeter-level precision as they lower cables and hook up each bundle of trees. With over 1,000 flights per day, these helicopters can move thousands of trees from the hillsides to collection points within just a few hours, without a single ground vehicle required. This method not only shortens the harvest time from several weeks to just a few days, but also greatly reduces environmental impact, cutting soil erosion and lowering fuel consumption by up to 60% compared to ground transport. Once delivered to the collection sites, each tree is rewrapped by high-speed spinning net machines. The flexible nylon mesh keeps every branch in place, preserving the perfect shape and freshness of the trees for their long journey toward markets across the United States. Cashew nuts are among the most valuable and sought-after nuts during year-end celebrations. When the ripe red cashew apples fall and cover the ground, farmers collect each fruit by hand, then skillfully extract the nut using a simple wooden post and cord, looping the shell between the supports and processing each one with a careful precision. What seems like a simple task is in fact the greatest obstacle to mechanization. The shell of the cashew nut contains anacardic acid oil, a highly corrosive substance. Even the smallest crack can cause the oil to leak out, burning the skin and spoiling entire batches of nuts. For this reason, human hands remain the most delicate and reliable tool in the entire cashew harvest, capable of performing with the care that no machine has yet been able to match, even in harvests that yield several tons. Across the vast fields of Wisconsin, where rows of red cabbage have tightly curled after 3 months of growth, semi-automatic record harvesters roar to life. At the front, a pair of hydraulic gripping arms clasp the stems firmly and lift each plant cleanly from the soil, leaving behind neat brown furrows stretching across the field. As the stalks rise from the ground, a rotating disc blade drops down to slice off the roots just a few centimeters below the base. The cabbages are then guided onto an angled conveyor, passing through a gentle shaking system that removes soil and outer leaves. On both sides of the belt, workers fine-tune each head, trimming excess leaves before dropping them into a loading chute connected to a trailer moving alongside. From these very fields, hundreds of containers of American red cabbage make their way to markets for the festive season, destined for fresh salads, creamy coleslaw, and the signature pickled red cabbage that brightens Christmas tables across the United States. Golden canola seeds are harvested by massive combine harvesters, the golden giants of North American and Canadian agriculture. When the stems turn brown and the pods begin to rattle, the machines roll slowly across the endless fields, where millions of mustard yellow plants sway under the wind. At the front, a sickle bar cutter slices cleanly near the ground, feeding the plants into a rotary threshing drum. Inside, the rotor spins thousands of times per minute, shaking loose the tiny seeds while a stream of air separates out the husks and stalks, leaving behind only the smooth, golden grains. These seeds, barely 2 millimeters in diameter, are carried up by a conveyor into a 10 to 12-ton holding tank atop the machine. Each harvester can cover more than 25 hectares per hour, collecting hundreds of thousands of seeds in every rotation. And it's these tiny grains that go on to produce canola oil, one of the world's healthiest and most widely used cooking oils. Radishes come in various shapes, sizes, and colors, making them one of the most visually diverse vegetables out there. The most common radishes in the United States are small, round, and red with a crisp white interior. Radishes originated from Southeast Asia and spread to other parts of the world due to their adaptability and quick-growing nature. These hardy vegetables thrive in cool climates and prefer well-drained, sandy soil. The growing season for radishes is short, with some varieties maturing in as little as 3 weeks. Harvest time is critical for radishes. Picking them too early can result in underdeveloped roots, while waiting too long can make them lose their characteristic crunch and flavor. The perfect radish is firm, juicy, and peppery, making timing everything in the radish growing game. Harvesting 110 million pounds of radishes is no small feat. American farmers use a mix of industrial machinery and traditional hand-picking methods to ensure these root vegetables make it from the fields to our tables in pristine condition. Modern radish farming relies heavily on specialized harvesting machines. Unlike the massive equipment used for crops like wheat or corn, radish harvesters are compact and designed for gentleness. These machines are equipped with sharp, precise cutting tools that slice the radishes cleanly at the root level without damaging their delicate skins. The harvested radishes are then gently lifted onto conveyor belts and sorted. One of the standout features of these machines is their ability to handle radishes with care. Despite the high efficiency of these machines, which can harvest acres of radishes in hours, they operate with a light touch to avoid bruising or breaking the radishes. Their design prioritizes speed and quality, ensuring that the radishes retain their market-ready appearance. Machines often incorporate advanced technologies like sensors to distinguish between ripe and unripe radishes, ensuring only those at peak readiness are harvested. This level of precision minimizes waste and maximizes yield, which is critical when dealing with such a large-scale operation. In greenhouses, where the environment is carefully controlled and crops are nurtured to perfection, harvesting radishes requires a level of finesse that larger agricultural equipment simply cannot provide. This is where small-scale harvesting machines come into play. Designed specifically for delicate operations, these compact machines are tailored to meet the unique demands of greenhouse farming, where precision and gentleness are paramount. These machines are equipped with specialized cutting mechanisms that cleanly sever radishes from their stems without causing damage to the delicate roots or surrounding plants. Unlike their larger counterparts, which prioritize speed and volume, these small harvesters focus on ensuring that each radish is handled with care. They often include soft conveyor belts and padded collection trays to minimize bruising, preserving the radish's pristine appearance and crisp texture. Additionally, the compact size of these machines allows them to navigate narrow greenhouse rows with ease, ensuring maximum efficiency in tight spaces. Some models even feature adjustable settings to accommodate radishes of various sizes and growth stages, further enhancing their versatility. In smaller farms or for specialty radish varieties, hand harvesting is still widely practiced. Workers move row by row, carefully pulling radishes from the soil, shaking off excess dirt, and inspecting them for quality. While this method is labor-intensive and slower, it allows for meticulous quality control, especially for radishes destined for premium markets. Hand harvesting also ensures that radishes with unique shapes or delicate skins are treated with extra care. Workers' experience and skill play a crucial role in delivering perfectly fresh and unblemished radishes. Additionally, hand harvesting allows farmers to select radishes for specific purposes, such as bunching for farmers' markets or setting aside those best suited for pickling or slicing. This method, though traditional, is indispensable for preserving the diversity and marketability of radishes. Whether harvested by hand or with the aid of machines, the process of gathering radishes demands precision, care, and keen observation. Radishes are delicate vegetables with crisp skins and tender roots, and any mishandling can result in bruising or damage that affects their quality. Harvesting machines, while efficient, are designed with features like gentle conveyor belts and precise cutting tools to ensure the radishes are carefully detached from their stems without harm. Similarly, hand harvesting requires an experienced touch. Regardless of the method, the goal remains the same: to deliver radishes that are vibrant, unblemished, and ready to add crunch and flavor to any meal. Once harvested, radishes embark on the next stage of their journey: processing. This step is crucial for ensuring that the radishes are clean, safe, and ready for consumers. The journey of radishes from farm to table begins with a thorough cleaning process at the factory. When radishes arrive, they are often coated in soil and debris from the fields. To prepare them for market, they are passed through a series of advanced washing stations. High-pressure water jets work in tandem with soft, gentle brushes to remove dirt while preserving the integrity of the radish's delicate skins. This meticulous cleaning process not only enhances the radish's visual appeal, but also ensures that any potential contaminants, such as pesticides or bacteria from the field, are effectively eliminated. In some facilities, the cleaning process goes a step further with the use of ozonated water or mild organic sanitizers. These additional measures provide an extra layer of hygiene, killing bacteria and extending the radish's shelf life without compromising their crisp texture or natural flavor. This step ensures that consumers receive radishes that are both safe and fresh. After washing, radishes are sorted by size, color, and quality. Larger radishes are often sold whole, while smaller or slightly misshapen ones might be sliced or processed for other uses like salad mixes or pickles. Sorting not only ensures consistent quality, but also allows producers to meet diverse market demands. For instance, perfectly uniform radishes may be packaged for retail, while irregular ones might be destined for food service or value-added products like radish chips or powders. Once cleaned and sorted, the radishes move to the packaging stage, where they are carefully packed to suit different markets. Some are placed in breathable plastic bags designed to maintain freshness, while others are packaged in bulk for industrial use or restaurant supply. Labels are meticulously applied to showcase important details like variety, origin, and certifications, including organic or non-GMO status. To meet growing consumer demand for sustainable practices, many producers are adopting eco-friendly packaging solutions, such as compostable bags or minimalistic wrapping. These innovations not only align with environmental values, but also ensure that radishes reach consumers in a way that reflects modern sustainability goals. Planting radishes is a straightforward yet rewarding process, making them a favorite among farmers and home gardeners alike. The process begins by preparing the soil, loosening it to allow roots to develop fully and removing rocks or debris. Seeds are sown directly into the ground, typically about half an inch deep and spaced an inch apart. Radishes grow best in rows, with sufficient space between them to prevent overcrowding and promote air circulation. One of the most remarkable aspects of radishes is their rapid growth. Some varieties, like Cherry Belle, can mature in as little as 20 days. Farmers often plant radishes successively every few weeks to ensure a continuous harvest. Regular watering is essential as radishes need consistent moisture to develop their signature crisp texture. Radishes may seem humble, but their cultivation supports a vast network of farmers, factory workers, and logistics professionals. The economic footprint of radish farming is significant, contributing millions of dollars annually to the agricultural sector. Beyond economics, radishes have cultural value as well. They feature prominently in cuisines worldwide, from Korean kimchi to French breakfast radishes served with butter. In the US, radishes are increasingly popular in health-conscious diets, adding a peppery crunch to salads, tacos, and grain bowls. The versatility of radishes also sparks innovation in the food industry. Companies experiment with radish-based snacks, pickled products, and even beverages, broadening their appeal and market reach. Harvesting 110 million pounds of radishes annually is a testament to America's efficient and innovative agricultural practices. Radishes may be small, but their journey from seed to table is a big deal. The dedication of farmers, workers, and processors ensures that this often overlooked vegetable remains a staple in American kitchens. So next time you bite into a crunchy radish, take a moment to appreciate the care and effort behind its journey. It's not just a vegetable, it's a story of agricultural passion and precision. Hope you'll enjoy the story. See you next time. When it comes to harvesting rye, precision and timing are critical. The process varies depending on the intended use of the rye. Farmers must carefully decide whether to harvest the crop green for silage or wait until it's fully mature for food production or seed. This decision significantly impacts the equipment used, the techniques applied, and the ultimate quality of the harvested rye. For rye silage, the crop is typically harvested while the plant is still green, before the grains have fully matured. At this stage, the stalks and leaves retain higher levels of moisture and nutrients, making them ideal for livestock feed. Silage rye provides a balanced diet for cows, sheep, and other farm animals, particularly during winter when fresh forage is scarce. Specialized forage harvesters are used for this task. These machines cut the rye close to the ground, chop it into manageable pieces, and transport it directly into wagons or trucks. This quick process ensures that the nutrients in the rye are preserved, providing high-quality feed for animals. When rye is destined for human consumption or replanting, it is left in the fields until it has fully matured. This stage is marked by the plant's golden color and the hardening of the grains, with a moisture content of around 14 to 16%. At this point, the combine harvester, often referred to simply as a combine, becomes indispensable. The combine harvester is a marvel of modern agriculture, combining three critical functions: reaping, cutting the plant, threshing, separating the grains from the stalks, and winnowing, cleaning the grains. First, the combine's cutter bar slices through the rye stalks, just above the ground. The cut stalks are fed into the machine's threshing drum, where the grains are separated from the stalks through mechanical agitation. After threshing, the grains pass through sieves and air blowers, which remove chaff and other debris. The cleaned grains are stored in a large hopper within the combine, while the leftover straw is either dropped back onto the field as mulch or baled for use as animal bedding. The introduction of combine harvesters has revolutionized rye farming in America. In the past, harvesting rye was a labor-intensive process that required many workers and long hours in the fields. Today, a single combine can harvest hundreds of acres in a fraction of the time. This efficiency not only saves time and labor costs, but also ensures that the rye is harvested at the perfect stage of maturity. Timing is especially important for food-grade rye, as grains that are harvested too early or too late can lose quality. By streamlining the process, combines allow farmers to maximize yields and meet the high standards required for food production and export. Moreover, modern combines are equipped with GPS technology, sensors, and data analytics, allowing farmers to monitor yields in real time and make adjustments on the go. This level of precision minimizes waste and ensures that the harvested rye meets the highest standards. The use of such advanced machinery highlights the importance of technology in modern agriculture, making it possible to harvest 528 million pounds of rye efficiently and effectively. Once the rye is harvested, the next stage begins: processing. The journey from field to factory involves several critical steps, each designed to preserve the quality of the grains and prepare them for their final use. The first step is cleaning, where the rye is passed through sieves, magnets, and air blowers to remove dirt, stones, and other impurities. This is followed by drying, a crucial process that ensures the grains have the ideal moisture content for storage. Too much moisture can lead to mold and spoilage, so this step is essential for maintaining quality. After drying, the grains are sorted by size and quality. High-quality grains are reserved for food production, while slightly lower quality batches might be used for animal feed. Finally, the cleaned and dried grains are stored in silos or packaged for transport to bakeries, distilleries, and other industries. Rye bread is one of the most beloved creations from rye, celebrated for its dense texture and slightly tangy flavor. This hearty and nutritious bread has become a staple in cuisines worldwide, thanks to its unique taste and versatility. The journey of rye bread begins with the milling process, where rye grains are ground into flour. Unlike wheat flour, rye flour contains less gluten, resulting in the bread's characteristic density and hearty structure. Once the flour is ready, it is mixed with water, yeast, and sometimes a sourdough starter. The sourdough starter plays a crucial role in helping the dough rise while adding a distinctive tangy flavor to the bread. In modern bakeries, robots and automated machines take over much of the process. Robots efficiently mix and knead the dough, ensuring consistency and saving time. After the dough has risen, robotic arms carefully shape it into loaves, maintaining precision and reducing human labor. The shaped dough then moves into fully automated ovens, equipped with advanced baking technology. These ovens control temperature and timing with incredible precision, ensuring each loaf is baked to perfection. The result is rye bread with a firm, golden crust encasing a soft, dense interior. This bread pairs wonderfully with butter, cheese, or smoked salmon, making it a delicious alternative to traditional white bread. The integration of automation and robotics in baking has made the production of rye bread more efficient, while preserving its rich flavor and texture. This combination of tradition and technology highlights the culinary potential of rye, ensuring it continues to delight tables around the world. American white oak are carefully selected for their strength and ability to impart complex flavors. Before use, the barrels are toasted and charred over an open flame. This charring 528 million pounds of rye in America is a monumental task, made possible by the dedication of farmers, the ingenuity of modern machinery, and the efficiency of processing systems. From the fields of the Midwest to the bakeries and distilleries across the nation, rye undergoes an incredible journey, proving its worth as one of the most versatile and valuable grains. Whether enjoyed as a loaf of rye bread or a glass of rye whiskey, this humble grain continues to leave its mark on America's agricultural and culinary landscapes. Its resilience, adaptability, and versatility ensure that rye remains a staple in the lives of farmers, bakers, distillers, and consumers alike. Hope you'll like the video. Goodbye, and see you next time.